Today, I have the privilege of printing on some JERZEES Premium Cotton 570 MR shirts. I picked a couple Pantones that I think are gonna look cool on both. I also wanna add fashion soft base, make it feel real soft. My first Pantone is gonna be 7-weight C. I'm gonna make sure my scale is zeroed out. We need 445 grams of mixing white. Went overboard just a little bit. We're gonna take a couple grams out. Blaze orange. We're doing 14.15 grams. I like the Rio system. I think it's got a great hand once it's finished. Low cure temp of 260. Majestic magenta, 28.45 grams. Never be afraid to double check you got the right ink. So close that I'm scared to add more. And we have 12.26 of electric red. This is my kind of color. I also want to add a little bit of something called Epic Fashion Soft. And we're doing 500 grams. You can do up to 10%. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 50 grams. My garment is so soft, it's really gonna lend itself to that kind of retail softness, kind of like a great soft hand feel at the end. I think that's gonna contrast really nice with our garments. So I'm jumping into my next color, 7637C. I'm gonna try a little trick with this one that I just recently learned, where I'm actually gonna add my fashion soft to the container first, and that way it's not ink in the bottom that I'm trying to mix in. If I leave anything behind, it's just my fashion soft. My first color that I'm gonna add is gonna be Barberry Maroon. It's a lovely, deep, rich maroon. Rio mixing white. We are very close, so we're not gonna do too much here. Ooh, I went just a hair over. This is where it gets tricky to step back in time. Blaze orange. And then our last color is gonna be deep black. Let's give it a mix, see what we get. All right, we're ready to get to press and set up screens. I'm gonna be using some quick rip tape. And some people ask, hey, why does it have a blue line on it? There's a little less adhesive on that side, so it's easier to peel off the screen later. Tension, screen first, up against the frame. Do a little trick real quick. So I'm gonna take a little bit of palette paper if you have some. Since I'm gonna be doing my back first, I'm gonna put this over my left chest so I don't have to worry about ink coming through that left chest. My print order is gonna be a very basic dark to light situation. So I'm gonna go with the darkest pink to the lightest pink to a white. My goal is actually to go wet on wet, but if I have to, I'll flash this light pink. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I step on this pink and diminish some of the vibrancy, it'll actually lend itself to contrasting with the bright pink. Whereas if I stepped on the white, I would lose that vibrancy. I'm gonna load up a test print shirt. My palette's already sticky. Got a little bit of a harder squeegee here, 70 durometer. And whether you push or pull, this process is all the same. I'm gonna actually pull this though. Now I have my image to set up to. So one screen setup allows me to set up all the others. I'm gonna move just a little bit when I was tightening it down. So I'm gonna go back to my micros. I'm gonna move it just a little bit. I'm gonna wait to put ink in. I'm gonna go right to this white screen. I am pro taking a little more time, just making sure you're dialed in with registration before you clamp it down. Because if I don't have to use micros, I don't wanna. Micros are just a tool to make it easier to move it. But if I don't have to move it, why would I? I'm gonna pick it up, put it back down, a little bit of screen printer juju there. Just make sure I am where I wanna be. We're gonna go for our bright pink, and then let's get some white in there. Epic Bright Tiger for my white. Always give your white a little mix before adding to the screen. We are ready to see how good I did with registration. Still looking good. Since I pulled that first one, I'm gonna pull the second one as well. Always go the same direction. And then let's check out this white. White's always thicker, put a little more effort into printing it. I think I'm ready to tape up registration marks. One cool thing you can do when you're taping up registration marks, fold over a corner and create a little tab. And that way later you can pick it off super easy. Okay, that's all of our registration marks. I'm gonna do one more test print before I start printing on my good garments. Maybe you forgot a registration mark. This bright pink and the white are a little thicker, so I'm going a little slower just to get a good deposit. And I really like how that pink looks. If I think it's getting picked up too much by this screen, I'm gonna end up flashing it because I really like how it looks without it being stepped on. These are the JERZEES Premium Cotton 570 MRTs. They're combed ring-spun cotton, 100% USA sourced sustainable cotton. What this means to us is just that it's a better canvas for us to print on, which means sharper lines, the ink is gonna feel better. I'm gonna load up one meant to be tee and one sunset coral tee. Basically do a test print on each of those, make sure that it looks like what I was envisioning before I start printing all of them. Yeah, let's give it one more print. Let's load up our sunset coral. And I am able to step on the dark pink at least, so I don't have to flash that. Ooh, I think that's gonna look really cool. All right, so since this is my first flash, I'm just gonna make sure that I actually did get them a little dry to the touch, but still tacky. Nothing coming off on my finger though. I'm gonna bring in my white. A couple of nice slow passes. When I do like that, that looks good on that color. So rose on this design because some of you may know I live in Portland, and Portland is the city of roses. I really like this colorway on the sunset coral. Has a really cool look to it. Well, I'm just gonna make sure that all my palettes are in the same place. Here's the odd one out. I noticed it earlier. Just gonna go ahead and do 2 passes, make sure it's nice and saturated. I'm gonna give that one more pass. I need to figure out the sweet spot on that. My dark pink is on a 230. This one is on a 158 because I knew I was gonna want a little more brightness from it. And then the white is on a 158 as well. Build my foundation, and then on that last swipe of the bright pink, I go a little quicker and a little less pressure, really kind of build on top of it. All right, here we go, first one off. Same thing here, meant to be. We're gonna do the same print order. We're gonna do a dark pink. We're gonna step on it with light pink. And now we're gonna go ahead and do this white highlight on this sunset coral. Okay, so we printed the backs on these. I'm gonna flip these screens around and hopefully get that set up pretty quickly and get a left chest on these guys. Kind of a larger left chest, and I did that on purpose. I just thought it might look cool on this garment. I can already tell I might want to go a little higher, but we'll check it out. Let's give that one more pass. We'll give that a flash, just like we did on the back. There's my left chest. I can already tell that I'm gonna want to probably bring that up another 1/2 inch. Pretty easy to do. I'll just load the shirt higher. Don't be afraid to print your first shirt in your size. Go try it on, look in the mirror, and see what you think. If you screen printers ever get a little piece of lint on the bottom of your screen, take a little piece of tape, pick it off the bottom with that. I do often push the squeegee, but on this one I knew I was gonna wanna control the angle a little more, and that's why I'm pulling. Because pushing, it really only works at a 45-degree angle. So these jersey tees came out awesome. I love the colors and I love how they lent themselves to the colors I chose. Super soft. I love the contrast on the mint. Kind of can't decide which one I like better. I do think this one's popping. These jersey tees also have a tearaway label so you can customize the inside label. I love how they came out. I hope you'll give jerseys a try in your next cool kid project, and I hope you learned something today. We'll see you soon.